Irritable bowel syndrome, IBS, affects millions of individuals worldwide. It is a condition that can cause discomfort, pain, and disruption of daily activities. While the exact cause of IBS remains unclear, research shows that diet and nutrition play a crucial role in managing symptoms. This comprehensive guide is designed to provide readers with an in-depth understanding of IBS and how to manage it effectively. The focus will be on the role of diet and nutrition, with a particular emphasis on identifying the foods that can help settle IBS. The guide will cover a range of topics, including the symptoms of IBS, the different types of IBS, and the causes of the condition. It will also explore how diet and nutrition impact IBS and the foods that help alleviate symptoms. The guide will outline a variety of dietary interventions, including the low FODMAP diet, and provide practical tips for incorporating these changes into daily life. If you're someone who suffers from irritable bowel syndrome, IBS, symptoms, you're probably no stranger to the unpleasant effects of a flare-up. The good news is that with a little bit of experimentation, you may be able to find relief by focusing on what you eat. If you're following a low FODMAP or FODMAP diet, you might already be familiar with some of the foods that can trigger IBS symptoms. But did you know that certain foods can actually help soothe your stomach and alleviate symptoms? Here are some foods that may help settle IBS: ginger, peppermint, turmeric, chamomile tea, and probiotics. Keep in mind that everyone's body is different, so what works for one person may not work for another. It's important to pay attention to your body's reaction to different foods and find what works best for you. The second tip in managing IBS symptoms is to bid farewell to trigger foods. If you have irritable bowel syndrome, there are certain foods that can aggravate your symptoms and make you feel worse. Low FODMAP foods are a great place to start when it comes to identifying your trigger foods. The FODMAP diet is specifically designed to help those with bowel syndrome identify and eliminate high FODMAP foods that trigger IBS symptoms. Some of the most common high FODMAP foods include onions, garlic, apples, and beans. By cutting down or cutting out these trigger foods, you may feel an immediate improvement in your symptoms. So, go ahead and give it a try. Say goodbye to those trigger foods and see if it makes a difference in managing your IBS symptoms. Navigating the FODMAP diet can be overwhelming at first, but it's worth exploring if you're struggling with IBS symptoms. The low FODMAP diet is based on the idea that certain foods can exacerbate irritable bowel syndrome symptoms, so eliminating those foods can help reduce symptoms like bloating, gas, and abdominal pain. The FODMAP diet involves avoiding certain types of carbohydrates, including lactose, fructose, and polyols. While it may seem restrictive, there are still plenty of delicious foods you can eat on the FODMAP diet, such as lean proteins, vegetables, and gluten-free grains. The key is to work with a registered dietitian to create a personalized meal plan that meets your nutritional needs while also helping to settle your IBS symptoms. If you're dealing with irritable bowel syndrome, IBS, symptoms, then you know how frustrating it can be to find foods that won't upset your sensitive tummy. One of the keys to managing IBS is maintaining a low FODMAP diet, which involves avoiding certain types of carbohydrates that can trigger symptoms. But that doesn't mean you have to give up on snacking. There are plenty of satisfying snacks for sensitive tummies that are low FODMAP friendly. Some great options include rice cakes with peanut butter, hard-boiled eggs, bananas, and lactose-free yogurt with berries. These snacks are not only delicious but can also help settle your IBS symptoms. Eating out with IBS can be a daunting task, especially if you're not familiar with the foods that trigger your irritable bowel syndrome symptoms. But don't worry, there are ways to enjoy a meal at a restaurant without having to worry about a flare-up. One useful tool is the low FODMAP diet, which is a scientifically developed diet that helps manage IBS symptoms by eliminating certain foods that can cause discomfort. Before heading out to eat, do your research and check if the restaurant has low FODMAP options on their menu. If not, don't be afraid to ask the staff to modify a dish to suit your dietary requirements. Remember, it's important to prioritize your health and well-being, even when dining out. So there you have it. a comprehensive guide to managing IBS with a focus on foods that can help settle your stomach. While everyone's body is different, and there are many factors that can contribute to IBS, incorporating these foods into your diet can be a great place to start. Remember to listen to your body, stay hydrated, and don't be afraid to experiment with different foods to see what works best for you. With a little patience and persistence, you can find relief from the symptoms of IBS and get back to enjoying food and life.